She was just yelling at me saying it's devil music, turn that shit off, like she didn't understand that shit.
Hi, this is Lauren Engel of Sidewalk Talk. Today I'm here at SUECO the Child.
Hi, I'm SUECO.
It's originally born in Pasadena.
Oh yeah, so I'm from Pasadena. That's just north of downtown LA, in case you don't know where that is. Yeah, that's where I'm from. I was born and raised there. My whole life I was trying to get the fuck out. Little did I know, when I got a little bit of money, what would I do? I'd move to South Pasadena. It's not that big of a difference.
Are your parents originally from Pasadena as well?
No, my dad's from San Diego.
Oh, okay.
And Finland, so he's like...
Oh, wow.
He was born in San Diego, but like his family's Finnish, so he grew up in Finland.
Yeah.
And then my mom is from... Her family is like... She grew up in La Crescenta, which is like a little... Not too far away.
Yeah.
It's still in like the LA area.
So you still have tons of family in Finland? Do you visit them a lot?
I went there once.
Yeah.
I went there once, and it was crazy because I don't speak Finnish. I speak a little bit of Swedish, because that's what like my dad speaks. But none of the family there, like some of them speak Swedish, but everyone speaks English. I don't know, it was weird, like, because I've never met any of them, but they're like my cousins. And so like when I went there, it was cool. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I felt very welcomed, if it makes sense. Like, even though I've never been there, it felt like I was home.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And they have really weird food. They have like pickled herring, which is like fermented fish. I've never had some shit like that before, and it kind of tasted gross, but it was
Sounds
cool.
like something I would like. Does your dad also have other family in the U.S., or is it him that came over here?
So like his dad came over, like he was like some construction worker type dude, and then when he was like 60 he retired and he married some he was 60, he married some 30-year-old, moved to the U.S., and that was his retirement. And then when he moved to the U.S., he had my dad.
Oh.
So my dad's family, there's only his brother that lives still in San Diego, and then his half-sister, and she lives in New York. That's the only family he has.
Yeah. Do you have Finnish fans? Like, do they know that you're Finnish?
I've seen comments that are like, yeah, I'm from Finland, woo! But like, and I've said it before, like, online and stuff, but I never made a real big deal about it, because it's not like, well, what's crazy, so SUECO, like, the reason I got that name is I was in Spanish class when I was in middle school, and the teacher had asked, what do you want me to call you? I'll call you by your nicknames. And I said, I'm an OG, call me OG, Mr. Craig. He's like, I'm not going to call you OG. He knew my family was, so they're Swedish Finnish. So he said, I'll call you SUECO G, because SUECO means Swedish in the language Spanish.
Oh, okay.
And then the G dropped eventually, and then it's SUECO.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. And what do your parents do?
My mom, she's not alive anymore, but when she was alive, she was a elementary school teacher. Mm-hmm. And then my dad, for the longest period in his life, like, he was just kind of doing whatever. Like, he was like some hippie guy that just played guitar in the park for a while. He was just like he worked at a donut shop for a while. Mm-hmm. Like, he worked as like a secretary in an office, and then like 5 years ago he started doing truck driving. So he's a truck driver now.
Would you say you got your creative side from him or your mom?
Definitely from my dad.
Yeah.
But both of them were singers though.
Oh, wow.
Like, my dad was I grew up in the church, and my dad was like the choir director for the church. And he would play guitar and sing, and then my mom would also sing in the church.
Were you also in the church choir?
Yeah, I would sing when I was a little kid.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was cool. That's where I like really started like doing music.
Oh.
And then the first instrument I played was drums, and it was because my dad bought me the video game Rock Band for Christmas, and I would get to expert mode 100% on the drums. And then when you get to like really high levels on the drums, you're actually playing drums, because you know you're like hitting shit on time and whatnot. And so when I sat down at a drum set, I could already kind of play because the game Rock Band. Wow. And that was like growing up, that was my main instrument that I would play is drums. I was in like hardcore bands, like hardcore punk bands.
Yeah.
And I was the drummer at first, but then I just became I was like the screamer for bands. So I was just yelling at everybody and fucking screaming my ass off. And I was also in jazz band. I was like the drummer in school, and I was in like the marching band. I was the guy that I was in the center. I was calling out all the commands and shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Was it weird going from like the church choir to a screamo band?
Oh, but yeah, my family, they're kind of weirded out by it. But I remember like when I first started listening to that, it was when my mom was still around. She passed from breast cancer when I was 15 years old. But like when I was listening to like all that shit before, she was just yelling at me saying it's devil music, turn that shit off. Like she didn't understand that shit. There was this one band, it was called Berlin. They're not even that like hard. They were more like singing. I had to convince her because they were like technically a Christian band. I had to like be like, this is Christian music. Like you need to buy me this. Like that's how I convinced my mom to let me listen to some of that music.
Was religion really big to you and still to you now?
I would say in the early part of my life, religion was very important. But then, I don't know, I just saw hypocrisy in the structure of the church and how, like the church I went to, it was, you know, they were pretty like open and accepting for most of my life. And then after a while, it was around like the time where shit kind of got weird in my life. My mom was really sick. They just kind of get like more radical beliefs. Like they were like saying, you know, gay people were bad.
Yeah.
There was like kind of just saying women couldn't be in positions of power.
What?
Yeah, and like, but they wouldn't say that, but they would kind of imply it, if that makes sense. And it just kind of got to the point where it's like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? I couldn't, it was hard for me to believe that you could be preaching a religion that's based off of love and compassion, but you're openly not loving, or like you're openly being bigoted. That just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And so because of that, I just left the church.
Yeah.
I don't really believe in, at least at this moment in my life, I don't believe in any organized religion. I feel like religion is structured, and organized religion is kind of meant to control people and to make them believe and think certain ways. I think there's obviously spirituality in being connected to something greater. And I think that's very important because that's how we feel connected and fulfilled in our lives. But following organized religion and becoming indoctrinated to believe certain ways, I feel like can be negative because it forces you to look at things certain ways instead of making your own decisions.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah. For someone who's watching and their parents are like, one of their parents are passing away or has just passed away, what kind of advice do you have for them who's going through this?
Make something. Like, shit can be hard, shit can be difficult, but you can take negative experiences and grow from them and turn them ultimately into positive experiences because you will grow and you will become something greater.
Yeah, I agree.
Because, I mean, it's corny, but diamonds take shape, they form under pressure.
Yeah.
That's a corny way of saying it, but you need to go through fucked up shit to get something incredible, I believe.
Mm-hmm. How would you describe your personality back then growing up?
I was a lot more shy than I am now. I was a lot more timid for most of my life. Until, like, I would say what kind of brought me out of my shell when I was 16, I was like just off the shits. I was doing drugs all the time. I was just into fucked up shit, like little dumb shit, like, you know, spray painting, like fucking like stealing like hubcaps or whatever, like just dumb little, not nothing too crazy, but just like little dumb shit, you know? And I was really lost, and my Spanish teacher, Miss Posket, without me even knowing, applied me to go to this like summer abroad program to go to Spain. And like she wrote like a application for me, like saying, you know, I was going through a fucked up time, you know, my mom had died, and I I was this fucked up kid that kind of needed to go and see something else. And I got like accepted for like a full scholarship to this thing.
Oh, wow.
And they even paid for like my flight and everything. And so for a month when I was 16, I went and I studied like Spanish in Spain, like with this whole program. And I feel like going out and seeing something else, seeing that there was more to the world than what was just in my own neighborhood, I feel like that opened me up, if that makes sense. Because that's what I wanted to do for the longest, and it's still what I want to do. I want to go and I want to see the world. And it kind of made me more open to different people and doing things different ways, and it just brought me out of my shell.
Yeah.
It started to. And then, like, from there, I started doing a whole bunch of shit. Like, I went to China for, like, a school program thing.
Where?
Yeah, in Beijing.
Oh, that's cool. I'm from
Like-
Hong Kong.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Beijing's a fucking weird place. It's like, so my school that I went to is an IB school, so that means International Baccalaureate.
Yeah, I did IB.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the school I went, and the sister school was right next to Tiananmen Square in Beijing. So like I applied, and then like the Chinese government paid for us to go over there, and it was weird. It was like a propaganda type tour. It was so fucking weird. Like,
I can
don't even
imagine
want to
it
get
though.
into because it's like a program sponsored by the Chinese government for American kids to go and see how awesome China is,
Yeah.
right?
Everything's so positive.
Yeah, it was like
So fake.
It was like so shoved down my throat, and I could see obviously there's a shitload of. It was like really polluted, but there's just like, no, it's super awesome. Look at this. It was cool though. Like there were cool people that I met there. It was just, it kind of felt weird.
Do you think you would collab with a Chinese rapper?
Fuck yeah, why not?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, the people there were really cool. It's just the experience was kind of strange. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I lived in Puerto Rico for a while. I was doing research out there, so I went to university for linguistics.
Oh, okay. What made you want to study it?
I didn't get accepted into the music program, and then I needed to figure out something to study, because that's before that. I knew I wanted to do music, but I hadn't like grown the balls to like just say fuck everything else and do it yet. So in my brain, I needed to go to school. And while I was there, I took a linguistics class, and I really enjoyed it. And that's what I ended up studying. And then I got into computer science a little bit, like coding and shit.
Yeah.
And so ultimately, what I decided that I wanted to do at that point was get into artificial intelligence and machine learning.
Yeah.
And it's called computational linguistics. That's like the field. And I went to Puerto Rico as part of a research program in 2016. I was helping study Spanglish and teaching computers how to understand Spanglish, like voice recognition software, because like native people in Puerto Rico are generally native speakers of English and Spanish, and you know they switch between the two languages all the time. And what we would do is we'd hook them up to like an eye tracking laboratory, so they'd be shown like sentences of Spanglish on a screen, and we'd track their eye movements.
Oh wow.
If they like looked at anything too long, that meant it was wrong. Like,
but
that's
so smart. Yeah.
If you ask them, because they've never been taught what's right or wrong, if you ask them, they might give you the wrong answer. But if you just track their eyes and like follow their subconscious thoughts, it's going to tell you what's right and what's wrong. And then based off that, would take that research on the grammar of how it works, and then feed it into the computers so that when they would start doing like voice recognition in a mixed language, which is like Spanglish, which mixes both, it would be able to understand it. Like, because you need to follow the rules of both Spanish and English. So it's more complicated than just one language.
You think if it wasn't for music, that's something that's your career?
Yeah, if I wasn't
AI.
doing music.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's too. Do you think you would get back into it somehow, like fuse it with music, AI? If you could?
I have one idea. It's about virtual reality, but I'm not gonna say it because it's like it could potentially be a really big idea. But it's something involving
That'd be
virtual
so cool.
reality. I think that all those fields are where people should be investing, because I feel like specifically AI and virtual reality, they're already shown to be like the next wave of big technology. So I think that's where people should be investing in, like figuring out how to grow, because those fields are going to be the next fucking like big thing. Mm-hmm. While I was in Puerto Rico, I decided to say, fuck this shit. I'm not doing this shit. I want to do music. Mm-hmm. I grew the balls to do it. Something just clicked in my brain. I don't really know exactly what it was that made me like say fuck it, but something in me said fuck it. I don't want to do anything else. And then so I dropped out of school, came back to LA. I was broke. I was in the back of my dad's house. It was 2017. Then one of my friends called me. He was living in Nashville. He was going to audio engineering school at at Blackbird. Mm-hmm. That's a big studio in Nashville. He said, come out. I'll get you like a week of free studio time. You can just hang out. I was like, all right, fuck it. We don't have anything going on. So me and my homie, we packed. I had a Mini Coupe at the time. And we drove all the way to Nashville. That's like a 30-some hour drive.
I was just imagining.
Yeah. It was crazy, crazy drive. We got there. We saw it's way cheaper to live out here. We have our homie that's working at the studio. We could get free studio time. We don't have shit going on in LA. We decided, fuck it, we're going to stay. I had a week's worth of shit, and we stayed there for 8 months. Yeah, I got a job as a furniture mover and junk removal. I was staying in Nashville for all of 2017.
Oh, wow.
And it was just working on music, just like living, learning how to just... That was a period in my life where I kind of deconstructed everything that I was taught and how to live life, and then I kind of reprogrammed my brain, like to go for what I wanted to do, and to not be fucking scared, and to just accept myself, and to pursue music. It was kind of an enlightening time, if that makes sense. And then towards the end of 2017, one of my good friends, Luis Mora, he was a YouTuber, skater, skateboarder. He used one of my songs in this big skate edit that he was making. And when he dropped it, I dropped the song on SoundCloud, and it started to get like the first real momentum out of any song. It had like, I think now it has like 100,000 plays or whatever, but like it had like 50,000 plays in like a month, and that was like crazy to me, because I never had any traction on any music. So instantly I'm like excited. I'm like, holy fuck, I made it. Like, this is it.
How many songs did you put out before that?
Everything I put out has been deleted before that.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't find it. That's why I want to know. That's why I want to know, because you can't find it.
Released? I probably had like 15 songs released before then, but like all of them had like fucking like 100 plays or something. And then right when he released that, we got fired from our jobs and we got evicted. So we're like, okay, we're going back to LA. So go back to LA, and that's around the time that through another friend, Lamont Holt, he's another YouTuber, skater, rapper, another good friend of mine, I met the first people I ever met like kind of in the music industry making money. They were these music video directors, and they brought me to their studio, and I played them some of my music. Keep in mind, at this time of my life, I didn't look how I look right now. I looked like a fucking... I looked like a crack addict. Like, I looked like a crackhead. Like, I had really fucking bad acne. I couldn't get jobs. Like, it was really bad. I didn't know how to dress. Like, I have a stylist now. That's why I look kind of cool. Like, I just looked like the weirdest motherfucker ever. But I came in, I played some music. They kind of liked it. I produced everything. Oh, wow. So they signed me under a management deal. And that was in 2017. Until the summer of 2018, so that was like almost a year, I was locked in their studio just working, perfecting myself. Working. Fucking 12 hours a day. I was living in their studio, like just working every single day. I was able to start to really like figure out my sound working there. As a producer and as an artist, like, because I was doing both. But it kind of got to this point there where it was like, are you guys gonna fucking help me? Or no? Like, I still have 300 followers on Instagram. I'm not any further than where I am right now. What the fuck is going on? It ended up being, these motherfuckers aren't gonna help me. So I said, fuck you guys, in the summer of 2018, and I left. A week after I said, fuck you guys, I'm leaving, I'm in the back room of my dad's house, Still broke, still sad, 300 followers. And then I asked my friend Lamont, dude, I need some help. I know you got like some clout on Instagram. Like, I need some help with something. I need to make some money or something. Can you maybe help me get some beat sales or some engineering or some shit? He said, yeah, of course. He said, you can make a beat in 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
I said, yeah, of course I can make a beat in 5 minutes. Easy. So he said, all right. So he pulled out his phone. He films like a 5-minute beat challenge, puts it on his story, tags me, tells people to go fuck with me, buy my beats. 3 people go find me. They buy beats, $60 each. I made $180.
Whoa,
First money I ever
bad.
made doing music.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'm fucking juiced. I take those videos, I put it on my feed, and like I said, I have 300 followers. I put it on my feed, it gets 2,500 views, right? So I'm thinking, okay, something good is going on here. Like, something's happening. And it was right at that time when there were these collage pages on Instagram. It would be like, Lil Pump's dumb cousin does this stupid shit to get clout. And then a video of some guy fucking like breaking a bottle on his head and rapping or some shit, right? Have you seen those videos?
Yeah.
Okay. So I hit up one of those pages and I told him, hey, I think this video do good. Make a collage, post it. Gave him $25. He made a little collage that said, 5-minute beat challenge, Cooper Fire. Put the video, posted it, went viral, got 500,000 views.
Wow.
I was tagged, got 2,000 followers overnight. And then instantly we're like, oh shit, we figured it out, right? Like, this is how we're gonna get on. That was in the summer of 2018. Until the beginning of this year, 2019, that's what we were doing to get on. We were these fucking crazy viral beat making videos.
Yeah.
And what we eventually figured out is I would go and make a beat out of a weird sound, right? Like, I would go make a beat out of a condom or make a beat out of an egg, and there would be this whole video, and then you see me like taking the sounds, making the beat, and then at the end, like, it would be me or one of my homies rapping on the beat, and then we'd snippet the song, right? Mm-hmm. And then those beat making videos would go viral, like get millions of views on all these different pages. And then people would want to hear the song that we snippeted at the end. So then we dropped the song, and that was our original marketing for our songs.
Yeah, so smart.
Yeah. I mean, that was literally the start of everything. There's a whole playlist on my SoundCloud with all of those songs, the 111 playlist. But then it got to this point in March where I had over 100,000 followers on Instagram at that time. So I got 100,000 followers off just the beat making videos. It was like, if we keep doing this, this is going to be us forever. Like, we cannot keep doing this. Mm-hmm. So I took a step back. It was around that time when I made the song Fast.
Yeah.
Right? And that was also when Old Town Road was like really fucking blowing up.
Oh, okay,
right?
yeah.
And that blew up because of TikTok.
Yeah.
And so I thought, oh, well, you know, maybe TikTok can help blow this song up. So one of our friends, Lucas Daly, he's a big TikTok influencer, the skater kid. I hit him up. I was like, hey, do what you can do. So we dropped the song. He's a big friend of ours. I posted a video on my TikTok to the song. It's me and a girl. I bust in 2 minutes. Fast, 400 on the dash, right? That's the joke.
Yeah.
He grabs the audio from that video. He starts making his own videos. He makes a whole bunch of different types of videos, whole bunch of different kinds. It was like the 5th or 6th video he made. It's him going like, dun, dun, like selfie, like to the hits of the beat, and then like it goes like slow-mo when it hits. And he posted that, and I was like, this is kind of stupid, but all right, you do you know what you're doing. And then after a week, there was 1,000 videos made to that audio clip of kids going, bum, bum, right? And so I'm going, holy shit, this is working better than I expected. And then out of nowhere, this was like the fucking crazy moment where just all the stars aligned. Big TikTok influencers found it. They started doing it and started challenging each other. Who could do the best one of these little dun, dun things? Yeah. And overnight it just went fucking 1,000, 10,000, 50,000, 100,000 videos, 500,000 videos. There's 3 million videos plus on TikTok to the song. And that's how the song blew up.
Yeah.
Is through TikTok.
And how long after until I've had a lot of record labels are reaching out to you, right?
Literally, so
Yeah.
I dropped the song April 1st. It started going viral on TikTok around 2 weeks after I dropped it, like around April 14, 15, right? Somewhere around there. I remember it started going viral on a Monday. By Friday, every single record label was hitting me and my manager Lucas up. By Monday, we were in New York taking meetings. Literally, in
Damn.
1 week from it going viral, we were in New York taking meetings. And that was late April.
Yeah. And how did you decide to sign with Atlantic?
It was the best deal.
Yeah.
And they're good people.
Yeah, they are. They really are. Fast forward to your upcoming EP, right?
Yeah.
What's your inspiration for that?
So my biggest musical inspirations are Green Day, Kanye, Kendrick, and The Weeknd.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my biggest all-time musical influences. And I feel like the purpose of this project is to introduce people of the broad scope of who and what I am artistically,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Because people that have just heard Fast think, oh, I'm just some like white kid rapper, right? Like, oh, he just made a cool rap song. Most of my music is singing music, actually.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the majority of my music. So this project kind of gives people more of an idea of who I am. There's some more R&B leaning songs. There's like this one that I think is like almost like a pop song called No Sleep in My Body. There's this one indie song where it's literally me and a guitar, and it's just me and guitar. Like, that's what I feel like the purpose of this project is, so people understand me.
How about for the themes or lyrics?
The more rap songs, it's more just alright, so Fast and Dork are more like kind of just like turn up ignorant songs.
Mm-hmm.
Dork is the single I just dropped. And then there's one song, Cayman, that like kind of sprinkles in more like really what's going on in my life. There's this line in that song. I said, fly to the Caymans, I fly to Dubai, pay for no ticket cause they want me to sign.
Oh, so good.
And that it's because like before Fast blew up, there was this record label called Goldfire Records, and they're based in the Cayman Islands, and they had wanted to sign me like before anything blew up, and they flew me to Miami.
Oh,
Like
wow.
to do like business meetings with them, and yeah, shout out them. I remember I was in the club and out there, and they got us like a table at Live, and that's like the super crazy club in Miami, right?
Yeah.
And we had like the craziest table, and then the owner, he's this internet millionaire guy called Frank Schilling. He's a real cool guy. He has these 2 fucking big ass ridiculous gold chains. Like these motherfuckers weigh 2 pounds each, and he put both of them on me. And then I was the man. I had like the fucking.
Oh my god.
I had the Ace of Spades in the best table in the club with the chains on. I was like, damn, because I ain't never been on rich people shit in my life, and that was the first time where I'm like on some real like bossed up shit. Oh man,
that.
yeah, shouts out them. But then there's also like, obviously more like deeper songs. There's the guitar song Novocaine. It's about this feeling, it's a persistent feeling I've noticed throughout my life where I just need to get the fuck out. Like I need to go and do something else.
Yeah.
And that's what that song is about. It's about that feeling. It's about that restless feeling. I don't want to call it anxiety because that, like, I do feel that things are never enough. That's what my chain says. My chain says never enough.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's just about that feeling that like, I gotta go, I gotta do something else.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's a song, Sober. For a really long time, I was just like low-key an alcoholic. Like I was just drinking fucking all day, every day. And that's what that song was about. I just woke up loaded, all my drugs impotent. Call me when it's over. I can't function sober. That's what that song's like. It's about more like that.
Yeah.
And it's also a lot of those songs are also about girls too.
Yeah.
I have girl problems. There's a song, Probably, on there, and then the hook is super simple. It says, "Did we fuck last night? Probably I seen you with him. It ain't bother me, but it do. That's the hook. That's the hook. So I'm very self-explanatory.
So I think you get a lot of comments, but what are the tips for your hair? When did you decide to go blue?
Oh, like, it was late last year. I think it was for Halloween last year. Like, I just did it because I wanted to just see how it looked.
Yeah.
And then I liked how it looked so much, I just kept it.
You do it yourself now?
I did it by myself, like, the first time I did it,
Yeah.
but now I have a professional.
No wonder, because they were saying, like, how do you get the perfect blue? And it doesn't even really fade, so you get it done, like, really often.
Well, here's the secret. So, you get it done professionally. They have shampoo with blue hair dye in it.
Oh.
So you just literally shampoo with the blue hair dye and it keeps it.
Come on, I had blue hair like 2 years ago and I wish I knew that.
Dude, it's the fucking
fading
biggest
so
secret.
quickly.
All the hair people are not gonna fucking tell you that.
Yeah, because they want you to come back.
Because they want you to keep coming back.
Yeah.
But like, that's how you keep it for a super long time. Is
so
they have
smart.
shampoo and conditioner with blue hair dye in it.
You think you're gonna have blue hair for a while, or are you gonna change it
No.
around?
It's blue hair
Blue
for a
hair
while.
for the next
I don't
20
know
years.
about forever, but for a while.
Yeah. How would you say you've grown as a person compared to when you were younger?
I was kind of just lost.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I knew what I wanted to do, but I only saw like vague pictures of it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really going for it. I would say that mindset started to develop in me like a couple years ago. And it felt like almost a transitionary period when I started to really just say, fuck everything else, I'm going to go for what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost at that point, because I don't want to say I was a boy before that. I would say I started to kind of grow up from being a boy around when my mom died. Because my dad was working as a truck driver, I had to just be myself. So that's when I, like, in my brain, I kind of stopped being a kid, but I wasn't really a man yet.
Mm-hmm.
A couple years ago, when I started really just kind of dissecting myself and understanding myself, I even still wouldn't say I'm a man yet, because I was broke. I mean, I was making a little bit of money, but, like, I didn't feel like how a man should feel, if that makes sense. But, like, I saw it. It was that mindset of when you see it and you go and you get it. And it just all comes to you because you're in, like, this place of positive emotions and love, and it's because you want to do something. And it just comes. That mindset, I feel like, is what separates me now from the me back then. Because I would say it really only when my song blew up, and then obviously I have a little bit of money now and I can do more things than I used to be able to. I would say only now I'm starting to become a man, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because the self-reliance is only a part of it. It's more of a mental thing.
What does love mean to you?
Love?
Yeah.
Love is a broad and generic term. I feel like love is this feeling of appreciation, because romantic love is only a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously a big part of it, but then there's also different kinds of love. There's self-love, when you have an appreciation for yourself. There's, for lack of a better word, platonic or friendship love, where you have general just appreciation for other people and you want to see them succeed. And there's love for the world, and again, it's the same thing. It's appreciation for everything, and you want to see everything succeed and blossom. I think that's what love is.
Yeah.
When you want to see everything succeed and do the best that it can, and it's not for any motive besides just wanting it to do good.
Yeah, I love that. Last question, what do you want to be remembered for?
The reason I started making music is because I found something in listening to other people's music and finding hope, or finding something that I needed to find within myself. But I couldn't, but I could find it in this music. And it was inspiration, yes, but it was almost more like healing. I want to be able to do that with my music. I want people to hear it and to feel something. Whatever it is, it doesn't fucking matter. You're fucking jumping up and down in the club. Woo! You're feeling something, right?
Yeah.
You're fucking listening to it because you need to feel something that you need to fix in your heart.
Yeah.
You feel it. Either way, you're still feeling something. I want to be remembered because people can feel something.
I love that. This is one of my favorite interviews.
Yeah?
This is awesome. Yeah, thank you.
Of course.
Bye.
Okay, bye.